Welcome back to E3 and Square Enix Presents. My name is Will Powers, and we are starting up a segment of Deep Silver games here. The first of which is going to be Agents of Mayhem, a special segment we're calling Open World Mayhem with a Touch of Soul. So I'm here with the Project Design Director, Anoop Shaker. Anoop, how are you doing today?
Very good. I'm really excited to be able to show the game, and then we're really close to being done, so hopefully getting consumers' hands very quickly.
Yeah, we're really close to launch for Agents of Mayhem. It's coming out on August 15th on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. So let's just jump right into the game, and we can show you what we're showing off. So, Anoop, this is called the Ark.
Right.
Walk us through a little bit of what this is.
This is basically the base of operations for Mayhem. This is the organization that you play as. This is where the agents hang out when they're not on duty. You get to see a lot of the people who run the agency here. On the left, you have Persephone, who's the leader of Mayhem, and on the right is Friday. She's sort of the logistics operator. Sends you out on missions.
Perfect. So we're going to go ahead and queue up. This is going to be one of the story mode missions of the game on the critical path, one that we call Star Power. So it's going to trigger a cutscene. We're going to sit back and let you enjoy it a little bit.
These days, they'll give it to anyone. You don't even necessarily have to possess any discernible talent. Take your next target, for example. Of all Legion's vile lieutenants, none is more annoying than August Gaunt. His music alone terrorizes millions of people. Yet the world's youth can't get enough of him. I'm chewing gum till I'm crazy. Stuck on you. And girl, I'm about to pop. Chewing gum till I'm crazy, baby, yeah. Gaunt was able to buy his way into Legion, a place he could perfect his technological marvels. And as long as the Ministry of Pride gets its cut, Dr. Babylon will overlook his extravagances. But the clock has struck midnight for Mr. Gaunt, Agent. It's time for you to put an end to his party.
All right there. So, Anoop, what the heck did we just watch?
So basically, you got a little briefing on August Gaunt. He's one of Legion's ministers. Legion is basically the bad guy organization that's sort of attacked around the world, and Mayhem is ordered. Their job is to stop Legion. So right now, you're going to go after August Gaunt.
Perfect. So one of the key things about Agents of Mayhem is you play as a squad of 3 agents at any given time, and the Mayhem organization has 12 different agents in it. So right now I'm choosing between a bunch of different ones. So I'm gonna have Kingpin be my center guy right there. Yeti on the side, and for the third one, let's go ahead and have Jewel. She's a fun pet class. She drops turrets. But yeah, so one of the things that we can talk about here real quickly is that this is obviously a game from Deep Silver Volition and the creators of Saints Row. So there are a lot of ties back to the Saints Row franchise within Agents of Mayhem. 2 of them are characters right here on screen.
Yeah, exactly. So here in the middle, Kingpin is actually Pierce Washington. If you're familiar with Saints Row, he's one of the characters on the boss's team. And then on the left is Yeti, but his real name is actually Oleg, also from Saints Row.
Perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop in with this squad. It looks like a good variety, and we're gonna go into the world. So this is a drop sequence. So every time you deploy from the Ark into Seoul, you're essentially deploying like this, right?
Right. Yeah, you're basically teleporting down into the city. You jump into this tube, and it fires up the teleporter, and you land in Seoul, South Korea, which is where Agents of Mayhem takes place.
So this music is obviously like very superhero oriented. Reminds me of Marvel a little bit. It's getting me pumped as we're dropping into the city. But transition, dropping into the city, we're about to drop a little surprise on you guys because we have Kingpin, Pierce Washington, here on screen. But we also have the voice actor for Pierce Washington, Kingpin, here in the studio. So I'd like to bring on Arif. Come on, sit down. Put your headset on. And There we go. All right. So, Arif, welcome to E3. So, now we do have open world Mayhem with a touch of Seoul. So, your character, obviously, big personality. Kingpin, Pierce Washington. In this fiction, in this retcon universe of Saints Row, Pierce was actually able to unify all the factions of Steelport and unified all the gangs together instead of having them fight against each other and form a united front against Legion. He became the leader of all those gangs and essentially powered up his brand and put that forward, and it's been recruited into Mayhem.
You ever thought about joining the team?
Tell me, what's your favorite thing about Kingpin and Pierce as he's evolved through the franchise?
He's went from being like just an underling to finally getting to be a boss. That's one thing that I love about it. And the fact, like what you said, he united everybody, which is what I think he's always wanted to do, to keep the team together, to make the team better, and also being able to have his ideas heard. Because Shandi used to steal all my fire.
That's right.
So we were talking about personality a lot in this game and how personality shines through, and that's what makes all the agents super important. When I'm going to go call sorry, these cars are trying to murder me on the street.
These Seoul drivers in our game are a little crazy.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and call a car, and every agent has their individual different style that they jump in the car. What do you think makes Kingpin or Pierce most unique to you? Do you think he's any part you as a personality?
I think that I'm at least 40% Pierce in real life. I wish I could jump into a car like that. That would be awesome.
That would, I think,
but I think that's what Volition from day one has really worked hard at, especially with the characters that are returning. They've allowed us and the character to grow together. So for being around us, they got a little bit of me, and the same thing for Ole, got a little bit of his real personality, and you blend them in, and you spend hours upon hours of making these scenes. So you just find yourself within them, and I'm very pleased with what they've been able to do. And I love the jacket. The jacket is a throwback to the 90s.
Yes.
So this is well, you can talk about this a little bit, Anoop. There are multiple skins, multiple outfits that you unlock through gameplay. Go ahead.
Yeah, basically all of our agents have several skins that they can unlock. They have different sort of themes, and they reflect the personalities and some kind of cool ideas of all the characters. So Kingpin, you can, as you said, sort of the 90s throwback there. But yeah, a lot of the fun of the game is to find a lot of these skins and sort of see the kind of interesting looks that all the characters have.
And I mean, obviously, Volition's always been very tongue-in-cheek about things. So you look at this as obviously Funky Fresh, which is the name of this one. There's a couple ones that are a little more on the nose.
I think if you're a fan of superheroes or other pop culture, you'll see some things that I think are pretty recognizable.
Right.
Yes.
It's so. I think you can elaborate a little bit more on the inspirations for Agents of Mayhem.
Yeah. I mean, the superhero thing is no mistake. I mean, a lot of it is if people are familiar with G.I. Joe back in the day, but also like the Marvel movies and characters, comic books. We're really trying to capture a lot of that nostalgia, the ideas, the fun that people had growing up in those time frames. But at the same time, if you don't know that stuff, the game is still fun and still really exciting to learn about all the characters.
Absolutely.
So just kind of, we've talked about a lot of the similarities between Saints Row. I'm driving into walls. Between Saints Row and Agents of Mayhem, but it's interesting to look at some of the differences too, because obviously the tone, the humor, and everything's there. Saints Row has always been very much about kind of a parody of pop culture. How does it tie into this game?
The scope's a little narrower in terms of the things we're parodying, but again, it's those ideas of these, crazy villain schemes that you see in a lot of these movies or cartoons, but they all have their sort of weird quirks to them. So, for instance, August Gaugne's scheme involves hypnotizing youth and setting them up against you, and building this technology that basically gets them to do what he wants. And so it's not just pop culture in general,
Hey,
but
man.
sort of more
August
specific
gone
to
around?
this
I'm
kind
throwing a
of
devilishly
genre.
handsome
Cool.
celebrity
And
get
when you're in the world, you're playing as, like I said, a
Come
squad
on,
of 3
man.
agents.
Tell me
You
we're
can
done.
switch them out at any given time, even mid-conversation like this. And what that does is it really brings the personality to the forefront because your active agent is the one responding to the scene.
Yep.
So why is that important?
For us, again, like you have 12 agents that you can pick from. We want you to care about as many of them as you can, and then the idea is you're gonna find your favorites, the ones you really like, the personalities you respond to, the abilities you like, the looks, and what we wanted to make sure is when you're playing, you can play any mission with any of the agents once you unlock them, and so we wanted you to feel when you play with an agent, you're getting a different experience, a different sense of how they respond and deal with the situations that they're encountering.
Gotcha. So, well, I mean, besides personality, are there other reasons why you would pick multiple agents?
Yeah, they build up on their abilities synergize. So some will do an effect on one enemy, and then you can switch to another agent, and then take advantage of that weakness that you put on them, or build up on the strength from your previous agent. So that's a big part of the game. Is we want people to explore and figure out new combinations and really experiment a lot.
Very cool. So, Arif, when you do VO sessions for these games, obviously you want to know as much as you can about the character. What kind of research or what did you do to prepare for the role of Kingpin and Pierce Washington throughout the years?
I started making demos and investing in liquor brands, and, living the rap life. I was able to make, but you know, he is a good characterization of those things, the rap life, the pop life, the bigger, larger than life kind of people, and that's what you love about him, because he doesn't take himself seriously, even though he is serious about what he's doing. So it makes it real cool, man. And you know, just like I said, hanging around these guys, the freedom that they give you is we do it the way it's written, and then we just ad-lib a lot of stuff. So a lot of these lines at times are things we make up in the midst of it because we make a stupid joke and it lasts.
So obviously you work really closely with the writers at Delicion when you're in the studios. What's unique about their individual humor that you've noticed over the years?
Okay, these guys are, they're fans. They're players just like the people at home. They love playing video games. They love comic books. They love cartoons. We all are in the same age bracket, and we just want to have fun. So they really bring that. I've worked on some stuff that's so tactical that it almost takes the joy away out of the process. But this, everybody's trying to land the joke, get the serious of the story out, but just have fun. And we all like barbecue. I think that's the secret. I really want to say that barbecue and probably sliced soda, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Saints Flow. Saints Flow is what, but yeah, barbecue. I think that's what the secret is.
Perfect. So you touched on a lot of things here. A lot of obviously very serious things.
Yeah.
This is a 100% serious game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Straight
no, for real.
face. But it's something that I don't know if you've noticed the kind of lineup in the video game industry recently. Everything's been very serious, tonally very serious, very solemn. Why do you think comedy is so important?
Well, you look at the physical thing that happens to your body when you laugh. You smile, you get an ab workout, and you feel a little bit better at the end of it. And I think that's what we need in our lives, especially with everything that goes on around the world. Not just here, around the world. People need to have some sort of escapism. I approve of the games that take you through the realistic simulation process. That's great. I don't want to play the news. I want to play this dang game. I want to be an agent. I want to fight for the way, not just the American way, but just the right way, and kick some butt, and then land some jokes. And these characters are crazy, man. I'm literally a fan of all of them, and that's no one's paying me. I mean, they paid me to go to work. Ain't nobody paying me. And all these characters got something so damn funny about them. It's so crazy and quirky that you can find your three. And you're gonna have a ball, man. You're gonna have a freaking ball.
So one of the things I'm gonna show once there's some enemies around. This is This is news to everyone because you've seen, obviously, you know the personality of Kingpin. You've been around him a lot over the years, 10 years now.
Yes.
That Saints has been a franchise, but you haven't necessarily seen the full game, and you haven't seen your character in action. So today, for the first time, you were able to see Kingpin's Mayhem ability.
Oh my God. The dance. You ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready. You're going to be doing this dance at the club. This is going to be everything.
So Anoop, that kind of tees up in a conversation about the difference between special abilities and Mayhem abilities.
Yeah. So basically, every agent has their own unique special abilities that they can fire off based on like amount of time cooldown to it. After you fired off a number of times and you killed a bunch of enemies, a bar fills up with your Mayhem bar. Once it's filled, you can fire off their Mayhem ability. And each of these is sort of this unique sort of ultimate ability that really, allows the player to sort of decimate the enemies and really take things to the next level. But the important things about the Mayhem abilities is they have to reflect the personalities and the characters of the agents. So Kingpin in particular is one of my favorites. I think it does a great job of doing something fun and silly, but allows you to be successful in the game too.
Very cool. So we're about to go into that. You teed me up nicely here. So we're gonna find some enemies inside this ancestral palace.
Are they twerking?
Yeah,
they're a little scared.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The explosion at the doors.
Okay.
Sort of threw them off.
So this is a very different environment that we started out in earlier. How many different districts are there in Seoul, and what architectural influence? Like, how did you guys build this city?
So yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, I don't know the best way to describe the number of districts per se, but rather we have a lot of different architectural styles. We have we call the ultra modern area, which is sort of Seoul in the near future, taking technology to the next level, and a lot of the Legion activity is based around that. But then there's also sort of more typical Asian architecture locations. You have this sort of temple area that is great for combat, but is sort of this more traditional Asian style as well. It's just there's a lot of variety in the city of Seoul itself, and then underground, Legion has a lot of their own activity. They've got bases that you need to explore and take out. So you're kind of going through a lot of different environments as you're playing through the game.
So kind of in the tongue-in-cheek reference, I don't know the answer to this question. I'm going to ask you. Why do a lot of games have jump? A lot of games have double jump. Agents of Mayhem has triple jump. So why, Anoop?
Can I answer it?
Go ahead, sure.
Because we're the Agents of Mayhem. This is what we do.
That's pretty much the right answer right there. I mean,
if that line's not in the game, it should be. All right, I found the cologne. There it is.
Double jump, we can do triple jump.
Exactly.
Douche cologne. It's French. It's douche.
Right. So we're on the path of August Gaunt, who may or may not seem familiar as a pop icon in the world.
I think you might be able to sort of recognize him as someone else you've seen on music videos or
He's
TV.
different enough for legal purposes.
Yes.
But
Yes.
I tracked down Gaunt.
there we go. So, but you didn't just create this pop star. Volition really went the extra mile.
Yes.
You recorded and wrote individual music tracks. The one we heard in the cutscene, Chewing Gum Till I'm Crazy. There's another song called Weeps for My Peeps that you guys wrote. This is just, it all kind of layers into the extra mile that Volition went to create this game.
I mean, yeah, for us, it's again, you're going back to these characters that, if you have a pop star, he's got to sing something, right? And August Gaunt, I think, is, perfect to really write some songs that are not necessarily recognizable, but you can identify with, but also to sort of, take a nice little dig at.
They're earworm songs.
Yes. They're very catchy.
As silly as they are, we listen to them in the office and can't stop. We can't get them out of our heads. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to showcasing those. But here we go. So we have some enemies now. This is gonna be a good time to lure them all. Try to lure them all together and then pop. Oh no, I haven't charged up the Mayhem ability enough.
I'm getting there.
All right, I'm gonna get this.
Yeah. So that's the purple bar on the left-hand side. Each agent has their own individual Mayhem bar, which is why it just dropped to almost 0 when you switch to dual.
But yeah, so we were talking about earlier about how the combination of using different agents is super important. So here we go.
There's Mayhem. Here we go.
Uh-oh. Get ready.
So what am I doing here? What is that giant boombox?
Yes, so basically it's playing music, and you see sort of this ring around the combat area, and any enemies within that area, actually any characters within that area other than Kingpin, the Mayhem agents will start dancing and you can sort of take them out. Again, it's basically a stun ability, but it's got the Kingpin flavor to it.
Yeah, every
Layer on it.
basically like attacks, personalities, cars, weapon skins, everything is personalized around the different agents.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So like as like previous Saints game had character customization, this is more.
I think it's more of it's focused a lot more on the gameplay customization.
Yeah.
Agents of Mayhem. We have a bunch of like the gadgets that you can equip. There's different abilities that you can pump up. Additionally, you can get Legion Attack, which will allow you to customize the gadgets that you already have. And really, the idea is, along with the skins, you can sort of make the agent behave in a way that you think is even cooler. Fits more of your play style.
It's a good thing his ego overpowers his
So
common
we have
sense.
taunts in this game too.
Yes.
There's friendly taunts, and then the more aggressive taunts. All of them obviously come with their own unique lines. They're unique to individual agents. They have their own animations.
It's still fucking awesome.
So
I'm just going to fast forward.
yeah, I'm gonna show some of your characters since you're hitting here, Arif.
I'd appreciate
Yeah,
that.
and
You probably haven't seen any of these yet, have you?
No, I haven't
Yeah.
seen the taunts. I haven't seen the taunts.
all right. So you're glowing purple for these. I just gotta wait for the dialogue to just finish off so that we can get the full experience of the lines dropping as well.
That is a funny line. When was the last time you seen a butt naked girl? Yeah, I'm thinking about Babylon Sex Life. Yeah, I remember recording that. That was amazing. Did it all with a straight face.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God, we don't have to listen to any more
The time you
scintillating
guys
thoughts from
took,
Gaunt.
it looks totally different. The technology has caught up with you guys' vision. This is going to be so fun on 4K and 1080p. It's going to just look great.
Man, I'm
Yeah,
glad to have
we got a lot of new rendering tech, and you can
gotta
see it
stop being
in
an
the game, and
asshole.
we're super excited about the way it
See?
looks.
Now that's a taunt, kids. Use that. Use that taunt on the playground. Gotta stop being an ass.
It's true. It's life lessons from
Yes.
Kingpin.
Yes.
Oleg's got a couple of good ones too.
Yeah, let's go ahead and see if
Drinks later.
he's a Russian, essentially,
Yeah, exactly.
like a winter
So,
soldier,
yeah,
right?
So, yeah, it's Cold Warrior. It's experimented on. So
I'd buy that workout tape. I would.
All right, so we're gonna jump into this car and take it to the rave, which is obviously where August Gaunt would be hanging out as a musician would. So
I wish this wasn't such short notice. I have so much PTO saved up.
Mixer, please tell me you're not considering going to a
way.
rave being
And
thrown by
we'll take it
August
to
Gaunt.
the rave,
I'm
and
not.
I think that's where
Although
we'll
I've
leave
never
it
been
off.
to a
Leave you
DJ's
guys
Please refrain
on a
from making any
cliffhanger so that you
stupid
can enjoy it when you play the
decisions
game and it
until
comes
we
out in
find a
August.
replacement VR engineer.
But in the meantime, Anoop, as
wonder
I'm
if there'll be
trying
evil
to
days.
drive while talking.
You can drive well.
Yeah,
You're better
kids.
than I am.
I mean, this is what happens when Will drives normally.
Yeah, kids
Oh
don't
my
drive and
God.
talk. It's a dangerous thing. But there's so many little teeny jokes and little teeny things. The attention to detail, especially in the humor and the personality of this game.
Yeah.
What's your favorite little Easter egg?
So one of the things I like is all of the it's not so much an Easter egg, but all of the agents, when you first unlock them, have a little cutscene that plays that shows why they joined Mayhem or why they hate Legion. And I love watching those because some of them are fun and silly, and some of them are serious, and some are sort of in between, and just sort of see that whole gamut of different reasons and styles is really cool.
Perfect. So obviously this rave is going to be in this cargo warehouse, but we're going to just leave it off here because we're out of time for this segment. But thank you guys for tuning in to Agents of Mayhem. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Arif, for joining us.
Man, thank you guys for having me.
And
thanks, yeah.
we just want to leave you with one closing thought of this. Obviously, personalities forefront, and we're bringing the personalities to the stage right here at E3. You mind telling the people when and how they can pick up Agents of Mayhem?
Yeah, so you can get Agents of Mayhem on August 15th on PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4.
Perfect. Look for much more in the weeks to come before launch. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you in the next segment.